3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers on the track for the second division of the Captain Treacherous Bluegrass Series worth $68,600. Sponsored by the Captain Treacherous Syndicate and the Hanover Shoe Farm. What is Captain Midnight? Tony Gabbana trains. Andy McCarthy drives for Marvin Katz, Ken Jacobs, Brad Grant, and Captain Midnight Racing. Number 2 is Roll with JR. Jeff Culliford trains, and he co-owns with Tom Pollock's Pollock Racing LLC, Andy Miller. 3 is True Lou. Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. Knox Services, Slaughter Racing Stable, and Weaver Brushibby, Dave Miller. 4 is Elver Hanover. Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. Bridget Jablonski, Jason Melillo, Jerry and Teresa Silva, Perdell Libby, Chris Page. 5 is Warwe Vital. Robert Fellows trains. Tim Tetrick drives for Blair Corbill. Yolanda Fellows, Nibidessa Racing Stable. Number 6, Tell Them Lou. Jim Campbell trains for the Fashion Farms. Judith Perez, Matt Kikali. The 7 is out. The 8 is Fortified. Nancy Tactor trains. Dexter Dunn Z Colors of Diamond Creek Racing. That's your field for the 5th race. Scratch 7, Sea of Life. Sea of Life has been withdrawn. We're down to a field of 7. Post time in a few minutes.
All right, Gabe Pruitt, thanks for introducing the field for race number 5. Again, take out number 7, Sea of Life, who got loose a little bit earlier, but has been returned okay. A little more love for some of our big-time sponsors and supporters of the Red Mile. Bow River Jewelry. Art and his gang. Don't forget to support that big Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge, Breedings for a Cause, which will be at the Fasig-Tipton Pavilion at 6:45. They're going to auction off some very hard-to-get stallion shares as well. The cocktail hour will be a little bit earlier. The Breeders' Crown as well, coming up from Hoosier Park, Hunterton Farm, Steve and Cindy Stewart. And, of course, we have Alan Michelle Crawford with us this afternoon from the Crawford Farms. Gabe Pruitt, this pick 5 today is going to make somebody rich, and it's not going to be you or me, right?
It is certainly not going to be me, and unfortunately not you as well, Dave. $54 in live money. That is all remaining in that pick 5. Still 2 legs to go. Get over $31,300 wagered into today. And again, $54. That's all that remains here in the final 2 legs.
Well, somebody out there getting ready to be nervous. The payoff leg, of course, will come up in the next race, which is the 6th. Let's start this discussion with number 1, Captain Midnight, one of the many sons of Captain Treacherous, who this race is named after and sponsored by, along with the Hanover Shoe Farms. He had a tremendous speed performance in his jug elimination up at Delaware. Got a little tired late, couldn't hold off Sand Between My Toes, and then did not start in the final. Sometimes I think that's a good decision, and sometimes not.
Yeah, in that case right there, I think they took their shot in the first heat. He raced well. He was under some early pressure there to make the lead, ended up giving way late. You know you're going to come back in that final, Dave, and draw for post 5 or 6. I think the Connections, obviously, after a tough first heat, probably just did what they thought was right by the Colt. Freshened him up here, get him ready for week 1 at Lexington. We're happy to have him back here, and I'm sure with him being entered in week 1, he's ready to roll today. And it's a Colt that has shown he has plenty of ability. I like him stretching back here to the big track. 48-3 win there in the Sun Beach division at Woodbine at Mohawk Park prior to heading to Delaware. Captain Midnight, I think, a very live contender here in race 5.
A couple of good geldings here for the Burke Brigade in posts 3 and 4. True Lou is number 3, and it's that guy Dave Miller who has already produced a couple of big upsets in the first 2 days of Grand Circuit racing. This one recently went on Lasix, but he is stepping up here.
Big step up, I think, for True Lou. Again, maybe a tick improved since adding the Lasix, but he's back up at the major leagues. These are the top shelf stakes foes he faces here. Deep water today. We'll see if True Lou can step up and hang. He is up there 24-1, big price.
Big price as well for number 4, Elver Hanover. We know he loves this track. He was undefeated last year at 2, including that either world record or world record equaling performance here at the Red Mile, 148-3. And you know what? He's really rounded back into better form. He was awesome up at Delaware.
I think that's the key, Dave. I think many people got a bit down on him maybe to begin the season, but I think over the course of the season he's gotten right back into form. And believe me, as we all know, Ocean Rock is a very tough foe, and he's been right behind Ocean Rock there several times over the course of the season in Ohio, most recently in that Ohio Sire Stakes final 2 back, and he was a very good runner up there. He stuck right with Ocean Rock. Of course, Ocean Rock followed that up with a huge win in Delaware. Then the Connections thought enough to throw him in the Dayton Pacing Derby against Older last night. So I think Elver Hanover may be flying in a bit under the radar. He's obviously not getting the headlines as he did here at the age of 2. But as you said, who loves a track more than Elver Hanover? 48-3, the all-time fastest 2-year-old, co-fastest 2-year-old, and the fastest male ever, Elver Hanover, right over this strip a year ago.
We've seen driver Chris Page produce one upset already early on the card here. 7-2, your price right now on Elver Hanover. I think you would agree with me, Gabe. The big question mark in the race is number 5, Warrawee Vital. He did not have a good experience down at Delaware for first-time trainer Robert Fellows, and it was on co-owner Blair Corbeil's bucket list to race in the Jug. Well, they didn't have much luck.
Yeah, I don't blame him for taking a shot, though. This is a very fast son of Captain Treacherous. They bet him like it was a replay in the Jug, Dave. He took all of that money, again, with maybe some limited stakes experience. I was a bit shocked he was that short of a price. As you said, it just did not work out, but perhaps stretching back out to the big track, just as he was racing there in Canada, could be to the liking of Warrawee Vital. I'm sure if the connections thought enough to go to the Jug and then down here in Lexington for a couple of spins during Grand Circuit action, that they're very confident in his chances. And once again, he's taking a ton of tote play, 2-1. Everyone circling back that was on board there on Jug Day on Warrawee Vital here this afternoon.
In doing my research last week for Jug Week, I watched the replays of the Sun Beach Somewhere division and the Simcoe. He was awesome in both of those. He even held off the eventual Jug winner, Captain Barbosa, to that lifetime mark of 148-2. Now, the horse to watch in here is number 8, Fortify. That was a supremely good try against Tall Dark Stranger. You tell me what you were thinking down the stretch calling that one.
Well, Tall Dark Stranger, he's just got that killer instinct to him. Fortify came right up, but he even had me fooled on that one. I thought Fortify might have a chance to get by his stablemate, but at the end of the day, Tall Dark Stranger reigned supreme. But you have to give a lot of credit, Dave, to that effort. Just a neck short Fortify. At one time last year, he was the fastest 2-year-old in North America. When he won a Kentucky Sire Stakes race here in Lexington, 150-3. He's just shown a lot of ability throughout his career, and when you are a neck behind Tall Dark Stranger, you are in rare, rare company. You are doing some good work, no doubt about that. He is a son of Sweet Lou, who stands at the Diamond Creek Farm, and they just happen to have bred and own this 3-year-old Fortify. Gets a little bit of luck by moving in one slot, so he'll start from post 7. I went 8-5-4-1, Gabe. How'd you do? Similar numbers, 8-1-5-4. I'm outside of the 8 to Fortify as well.
All right. Final look at the odds. Guess what? We've got 3 of them at 2-1. Good luck, everybody.
That type of race here, competitive top to bottom. The Dream Foundation starting gate has moved into position. It's post time for the second division of the Captain Treacherous Bluegrass Series. Captain Treacherous, the triple millionaire, 2-time pacer of the year, leading pacing sire in North America. Once more amongst 2- and 3-year-olds. Plenty of Captain Treacherous offerings. Coming up this week at the Lexington Select Yearling Sale. Starter calls. Three-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers lined up for the Captain Treacherous Bluegrass Series. Scratched down to 7. They are on game. And they're off. There goes Elver Hanover out from the center. Warrawee Vital came out swinging next doors. Those two out together as they sprint into that opening turn. It's Warrawee Vital who looks to move up and around Elver Hanover. Captain Midnight away in good order from the inside of third. Roll with J.R. Fondles in fourth. Caught wide at the 5th spot. That is Fortify as they circle that opening turn. True Lou is next in front of Tell Them Lou. Around the opening turn, Warrawee Vital on top here through a quarter of 27 seconds. Fortify and Dexter Dunn still advancing up there, and it's Fortify who would wrestle the lead away from Warrawee Vital. Captain Midnight on the move, so they continue to shuffle the deck across the backstretch. Captain Midnight up to try and tackle Fortify. Warrawee Vital, the early leader, he's now back to third. Elver Hanover pinned out at the inside 4th. True Lou's underway. He's uncovered up for Miller. Tell Them Lou tracks that move, and Roll with JR's been shuffled out the back. They race past the half here, 54-1, and Miller with an aggressive attack here with True Lou. And it's True Lou who has sprinted clear here at 33-1. The long shot True Lou loose on the lead as they roll onto the far turn, 3/8 to pace. Captain Midnight Tries to counter and quicken down at the inside second. 4-5 is pinned out at the moment third. Elver ahead of her. Attacking first up there, but still 5 lengths off the lead. World Vital is pinned down from fifth. Top of the stretch, True Lou trying to catch him sleeping here. 3/4, 1:20 It's True Lou who fronts the field turning for home, but Captain Midnight is back up and out of the pocket now. 4-5 third. World Vital suddenly shakes loose, and he dives on through that at the inside. They're 4 across the track to the finish. Captain Midnight a short lead. World Vital rallies up the inside here late for Tiedrick, and it's War Vital slipped through to win it. From Captain Midnight, 4-5 third. True Lou was fourth in 1:47.1. Five 183 and officially in the fifth. Again, it's 5-183. Returning trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. This is War Vital. Took a shovel there, but still up in time to win it. Robert Fellows, the treader. Tim Tiedrick makes it back-to-back stakes wins here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Lexington. War Vital. Lexington Select Yearling Graduate, owned by Blair Corbeil. Alberta, Yolanda Fellows of Ontario. M&S Racing Stable of Ontario. He's a 3-year-old bay colt by Captain Treacherous. For the Apache's fame mare, Great Memories, bred by the Warwee Farm of Ontario. Now 7 of 11 on the season, his 8th career victory. Winning effort this afternoon, 147 and 1, just 2/5 of a second off the world record for Warwee Vital. Greeting the Winning Connections trackside to make the trophy presentation. Always happy to see Adler Michelle Crawford, one of our perennial sponsors here in Lexington, Crawford Farms. Of course, they'll get to check out their Hambletonian champion, Ramona Hill. In action a bit later today in race 12. Fifth race results are official. Warwee Vital, 660, 340, and 280. Second to the one, Captain Midnight, 340 and 220. Third of the gate, Fortified, 220. Exacta $14.80. The $1 trifecta, $14.20. This afternoon's early pick 3 was worth $212.20. 20-cent superfecta, 5183, $18.36. Official rundowns for the fifth race. Captain Midnight second. Number 2 Roll with JR sixth. 3 True Lou is fourth. 4 Elver Hanover fifth. 5 War We Vital the race winner. 6 Tell Them Lose seventh. The 7 Sea of Life scratched. 8 Fortify third. Rechecking it's 264 517. Scratch and 3 on the bottom. War We Vital 147 and 1. Sixth race up next. It's the second division of the Green Shoe Bluegrass Series for the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trotters. No changes on the balance of this afternoon's program. The sixth race is in 7 minutes. 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers lined up for the Captain Treacherous Bluegrass Series. Scratched down to 7. They are on game. And they're off. There goes Elver Hanover out from the center. War We Vital came out swinging next doors. Those two out together as they sprint into that opening turn. It's War We Vital who looks to move up and around Elver Hanover. Captain Midnight away in good order from the inside of third. Roll with JR Fondles in fourth. Caught wide at the fifth spot. That is Fortify as they circle that opening turn. True Lou is next in front of it. Tell Them Lou. Around the opening turn, War We Vital on top here through a quarter of 27 seconds. Fortify and Dexter Dunn. Still advancing up there, and it's Fortify who would wrestle the lead away from War We Vital. Captain Midnight on the move. So they continue to shuffle the deck across the backstretch. Captain Midnight up to try and tackle Fortify. War We Vital, the early leader. He's now back to third. Elver Hanover pinned out at the inside fourth. True Lou's underway. He's uncovered up for Miller. Tell Them Lou tracks that move. And Roll with JR's been shuffled out the back. They race past the half here, 54-1. And Miller with an aggressive attack here with True Lou. And it's True Lou who has sprinted clear here at 33-1. The long shot True Lou loose on the lead as they roll onto the far turn, 3/8 to pace. Captain Midnight tries to counter and quicken down at the inside second. Fortify is pinned out at the moment third. Elver Hanover attacking first up there, but still 5 lengths off the lead. War We Vital is pinned down from fifth. Top of the stretch, True Lou trying to catch him sleeping here. 3/4, 120-3. It's True Lou who fronts the field turning for home, but Captain Midnight is back up and out of the pocket now. Fortify third. War We Vital suddenly shakes loose, and he dives on through down at the inside. They're 4 across the track to the finish. Captain Midnight a short lead. War We Vital rallies up the inside here late for Tiedrick, and it's War We Vital slip through to win it.
When it comes to yearlings, you can buy with confidence when you buy from Brittany Farms. The farm that bred and sold champions like Father Patrick, Manchego, and Better's Wish now offers buyers every pre-sale opportunity with both in-person and virtual online inspections. Videos that zoom in on every confirmation angle. Go take a look at BritFarms.com.
Green Shoe, extraordinarily talented son of Father Patrick out of world champion Designed to Be. Green Shoe bred the best book of mares ever assembled during his first season at Stud in 2020, including Ariana G, Cedar Dove, Hannelore Hanover, Mission Brief, The Ice Duchess, Pasithia Face, and To Dream On, as well as the dams of Propulsion, Emoticon Hanover, and Chapter 7. His yearlings will set the sales ring on fire in 2022, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Alaraj Farms for more than 2 decades. Alaraj Farms has been a leading breeder of stakes-winning trotters with prestige settings in New York and Pennsylvania. Alaraj Farms is the home to champion broodmares producing millionaires like Fern, Muscles Marinara, Dewey Color in the Line, and Whiskey Tax. Stars like Barndall, Jezzy, An Opulent Yankee, and $480,000 sales topper Beautiful Sin. Yearlings offered at the sport's major auctions. Alaraj Farms, a trendsetter in modern trotting. For more info, log on to alarajfarm.com.
Bow River, the leading designer of unique equestrian jewelry, presents their 2020 collection. Come view our collection under the grandstand at the Red Mile Racetrack during Grand Circuit Meet or in the foyer of the restaurant at Fasig-Tipton throughout the sale. Ask us about creating a custom design for yourself. We pride ourselves on superior craftsmanship that is unsurpassed by no one. Bow River Jewelry, quality you can trust.
3-year-old Colton Gelding Trotters on the track for this afternoon's 6th race. Second division of the Green Shoe, sponsored by the Green Shoe Syndicate and the Hanover Shoe Farm. Patriarch Hanover is the one. Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. William Swatala, James Martin, Weaver Bruschebi, Matt Kakaley. Number 2, Capricornus. Marcus Melander trains. Tim Tetrick up for JJ Racing Stable Incorporated. 3 is Sky Castles. Andrew Harris trains for Bob Key with Todd McCarthy. Number 4 is Third Shift. Otis Fonstedt, the trailer driver and the co-owner with Melby Guard Incorporated. 5 is TJ's Top Pick. Jeff Culliford trains. He co-owns with Trace Tetrick and Tom Pollock's Pollock Racing LLC. Andy Miller. Number 6, Back of the Neck. Otis Fonstedt trains. Got 0 on the board for Howard and Judith Taylor in the Order by Stable. 7, Amigo Voldo. Nifty Norman trains for the Penske Stables and David Miller, Dexter Dunn. At the 8 is Hobbs. Jim Campbell trains. Dave Miller drives for the Run the Table Stables. That's your field for the 6th race. No changes. We'll go to the post in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Gabe Pruitt. Again, I'm lacking my duties down here. I was in the middle of a conversation with the Run the Table Stables owner, Scott Farber here. Did you get a fancy look at those Pick 5 wheel pays?
I am finally not slacking, Dave Brower. I got the Pick 5 wheel pays today. And if you're out there rolling, you are going to be quite happy. I can tell you the 2-horse, Capricornus, is a pull shot at $32,000 and change. The only other 2 covered here, the 2 favorites, 6 and 7. A 6 Back at the Neck for 50 cents, about $8,200. The 7, Amigo Volo, the favorite, well over $4,600 for 50 cents. So just 3 horses covered. Numbers 2, 6, and 7. Again, they range anywhere from $4,600 for 50 cents to the entire pool on the 2 Capricornus.
Wow. And Capricornus is the first horse I want to talk about. Tim Tetrick will be going for the natural hat trick if he can get this colt by Cantab Hall into the winner's circle. Now, I'm going to admit, I was a lot more impressed with him last year through his freshman campaign. He cranked out 3 wins, just shy of $200,000, but he's been a little bit disappointing so far this year.
Yeah, maybe not quite as prominent as we saw him at the age of 2. Winless, still looking for that first seasonal victory. And, yeah, I didn't really like his chances for the top spot here. I thought he would likely trip out and maybe be in it. I know someone out there rooting for him, though, that has that lonely live ticket there for better than $32,000. So I'm sure you could have worse $32,000 chances in Capricornus. But, yeah, maybe not quite as prominent yet this season, Dave. He was good third in that Hamiltonian elimination, made a break in there in the final. Sort of a fringe player, though, on the National Stakes circuit this year.
Another possible fringe player is number 4, Third Shift. Otis Fonstedt has a pair in here. Third Shift might be the lesser-known one of them. He battled through some New York Sire Stakes. He did enter him in the Hamiltonian after that excellent try in the Stanley Dancer against Back of the Neck, where his stablemate. So coming off a qualifier, which was pretty good. He finished well behind Jim Panzee. I wonder if Oka has him ready today.
That's a major question. Obviously, he's had his issues, Dave. Just 5 starts this season as a sophomore. If you're out there rooting for the carryover, of course, we want to wish everyone the best of luck that's rolling here with these 3 horses. But if you are rooting for a carryover, I think Third Shift is the best chance because I think he's clearly talented enough. It's just, is he going to be good today? As you mentioned, the qualifier, okay. They're in behind Jim Panzee. Earlier this summer, he was very sharp there in some of those stakes races. He was all over the place here. That Stanley Dancer still a very good second and behind his stablemate Back of the Neck. So if Third Shift did come to play today with his best effort, I think he could be a very logical contender. But with the missed time and lightly race this year, it's just hard to know what we're going to get from this wild card this afternoon.
Back of the Neck was transferred into the Svanstedt stable for his sophomore campaign. And I'll tell you what, nobody looked better going into the Hamiltonian, at least colt-wise, than him. He still raced well, but he was no match for the filly.
Yeah, he was not. I actually liked him quite a bit heading into the Hamiltonian there, and he had just been so good. We'll never forget that night. I know you and I won't, Dave, when he closed in that Reynolds. Remember, he came from that impossible spot from far, far back to get up. That was just an eye-catching moment. in the career back of the neck. We haven't seen him since August 21st, so you have any concern on that? The recent qualifier, okay. I'm just not sure what to make of that.
Well, I trust Mr. Svanstead when it comes to the horsemanship here. If he felt back of the neck needed a little break after that, then he gave it to him. His effort in the Zweig against Ready for Money was very good. He was used hard, did a little of the dirty work, and then he kind of just towed home in a very fast mile for up there. So let's see if he's got him ready. He's got 2 chances to score. Amigo Volo right now, the favorite at 6-5, and why not? He's recently returned to top form for Nifty Norman, the Penske Stables, and David Miller of Florida. We know about his efforts here last year. It was a very sharp win. He's the speed horse and probably the one to catch.
He is, and as you and I have discussed here, world record day for a 3-year-old colt, 149, and one, of course, we all remember six-pack. Taking to Kentucky Futurity, the gelding world record 150-1, so not quite as snappy. We'll have to keep our eyes on Amigo Voldo as he has a major chance. And as we know, Dave, he was extremely good over this track last year. He's won half of his career starts, inching closer to that $1 million plateau.
Mr. Farber was just telling me about number 8 Hobbs, and he's had 2 wins in the first couple of days of Grand Circuit action. He was explaining how special that is to him and his family as well. Hobbs, tough post here, but I'll tell you what, he's had an awfully good season with over $300,000 made.
Yes, and he's been very prominent on that New York circuit. He's got enough early speed, Dave, to overcome that post today. I would assume Dave Miller's going to be aggressive at the bike with him here. 5 of 8 on the year. My only knock, I just thought maybe he'd be a tick better in Delaware last out. Perhaps stretching back out of the bigger track here, although he did get around all those smaller tracks in New York. We'll see. He was collared there late. I thought he was well rated there on the lead.
All right, to those that are alive in that pick 5 with the carryover, we're going to wish you got lots of good luck. If not, we'll have something to talk about between now and Friday.
We most certainly will, and we've got that pick 4 we're going to circle back with in the 7th race as well. 15% takeout, that new ultra low players pick 4 here at the Red Mile. We'll have 2 of them today. 7th race, $10,000 guaranteed pool. We'll toss it a late pick 4 this afternoon on race 12, so a little more pick 4 action. Post time for the 6th race, 2nd division of the Green Shoe. Starter call. Green Shoe, Bluegrass Division, a field of 8. Close out the pick 5. They are on game. And they're off. There goes back of the neck. He's out swinging from the outside 4-0 on third shift on the move. Towards the inside, there goes Capricornis and Amigo Voldo. Also looking to mix it up as they trot into that opening turn. Back of the neck. We'll loop past Capricornis. Third shift. Away comfortably down at the inside third. Amigo Voldo was shopping for a seat, but now done will opt to press onward there on the outside as Patriarch Hanover tightened down the hatches. It's a length and a half back to Hobbs. He's out trotting in 6th, 3 clear of TJ's top pick, and sluggish at the back, Sky Castles. Opening quarter was contested here, 27-4. And it is Amigo Voldo who takes up the lead from back of the neck. So the even money Cole favorites 1-2 as they trot across the backstretch. Capricornis following in third. Third shift is anxious in that 4th spot. It's a tight pack up top. Patriarch Hanover follows in 5th. Hobbs still patient at 6th in front of TJ's top pick. And it's about 15 more back to Sky Castles. The half mile was up in just 56-1, 28 into the second quarter. So it is a reasonable tempo up top for Amigo Voldo. Back of the neck has had a perfect trip there off the short layoff. He's second with 3/8 to trot. Capricornis now going to get the green light from third for Tetrick. Third shift will tighten in from a 4th in front of Patriarch Hanover. Hobbs swings to the outside 6th in front of TJ's top pick. They trot at the top of the stretch. They're off 3/4. 125-3. It's a well-rated Amigo Voldo who's looking to buckle down and put away Capricornis. Third shift angles wide at the outside for Svanstead. Back of the neck. He needs a place to race. He looks to find a seam. Far outside Patriarch Hanover's upset-minded, but they still haven't gotten to Amigo Voldo. He maintains a short lead. Here's back of the neck, though, who's found clearance, and it's back of the neck who moves right through and right past. Back of the neck to win it from Amigo Voldo. Patriarch Hanover up for third. Third shift was 4th, 151-3. Judges have posted the 6 back of the deck. On top here, the 7 Amigo Voldo. The favorites finish 1-2. 1 Patriarch Hanover. Third and the fourth. Third shift was fourth. 6-7-1-4 officially race 6. Sixth race results are official. Sixth race results are official. Returning trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. Back of the neck. Back on track. Okas Fonstedt, the treader. Scott Zeron aboard for the Wedding effort. Back of the deck owned by Howard Taylor, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Judith Taylor, also Pennsylvania. And the order by Stable of Sweden. 3-year-old Bay Colties by Reddy Cash from the Andover Hall mare Big Barb, who's bred by the order by Stable of Sweden. Hip 38 in the upcoming Lexington Select Yearling Sale. Hip 38, a brother to back of the neck, a Muscle Hill brother, New Jersey eligible brother to back of the neck. Hip 38, part of the Concord Stud Farm consignment. A brother to back of the neck, opening day at the Lexington Select Yearling Sale. Third win of the season, 6th overall for back of the neck, 151-3. That is a career best, even after the brief layoff for back of the deck. Out of Michelle Crawford, trackside once more to present the trophy to the winning connections of back of the neck. The favorites finish 1-2 here, back of the neck, 420, 220, and 220. Second of the 7 Amigo Voldo, 220, 210. Third of the 1 Patriarch Hanover, $9 even. Exacta was $7.20. The $1 trifecta, $25.70. 20-cent superfecta, $18.46. How about the pick 5 today? 4 tickets out. 50-cent ticket worth $8,295.75. Well done if you had today's pick 5. Rundowns in for the 6th. Patriarch Hanover 3rd. Capricorn is 5th. Sky Castle's 8th. Third shift was 4th. Number 5, TJ's top pick 6th. 6 back of the neck, the winner. 7 Amigo Voldo 2nd. 8 Hobbs was 7th. Rechecking 358, 461, 2 and 7 on the bottom. Back of the neck takes race 6. We'll find out if it was as easy as it looked. Dave Brower standing by with winning driver Scott Zeron.
Diamond Creek Farm Winner Circle with driver Scott Zeron here as back of the neck parlays that perfect pocket trip into a 151-3 new lifetime mark. Now, Scott, back of the neck was transferred into the Svanstad barn this year. You didn't have any drives behind him last year. Tell us how that came about.
It really came about because Olke owns a bunch of the other horses he has for 3-year-old colts, and it just became a fact that it was going to be a conflict somewhere down the road. And I was very fortunate that Howard Taylor and the Order by Stable requested that I sit behind him. And Aki had told me day one, he said, I think this is my best horse I have this year.
When was the first time you knew that he was like super Hambletonian potential?
When he told me, you know, you take his word for granted when he says he thinks it's the best horse in his barn, and he was right.
In that Reynolds division back on July 11th when you came from the clouds, have you ever sat behind a horse that was trotting that fast before?
Oh, he was definitely airborne down the lane, and that was just trying to get some more versatility and see how he is off the pace, on the pace every week, and he was great.
Now going into the Hambletonian, Ramona Hill looked good, Ready for Money looked good, but I thought you looked best. Was that a little disappointing for you today for your third Hambo?
Obviously, it's always nice having a contender in there, and Ramona Hill was just a phenomenal animal. But at the end of the day, I was really happy with the trip I had, and the outcome just kind of was the way it was.
Okay, after the Zweig division up at Vernon Downs, Mr. Svanstad elected to give this horse a little bit of time. Is there a little backstory there?
Yeah, it was a lot about the rules up in Canada and the fact that I couldn't go, and he just felt that he was a horse that had to have a consistent driver, as well as he didn't want to have his stable up there where he couldn't monitor it.
Okay, when you pulled up after the race, you and Oka came back together at a very slow clip. Can you tell us what that conversation was about?
Yeah, well, he tried pulling all four shoes on him today, and in the post-parade, he wanted to make sure he sounded well hitting the ground. And, he's just an amazing horseman, and he told me, even in the post-parade, he said he sounds great. He'll be good.
Is he as good now as he was back in June, July?
I feel like right now he's better. I mean, that was off of a layoff. I'm only thinking that he's going to get better and better.
All right, congratulations. Back of the neck with a nice, easy pocket trip. Good drive, sir. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
15 more back to Sky Castles. The half mile was up in just 56 and 128 into the second quarter. So it is a reasonable tempo up top for Amigo Voldo. Back of the neck has had a perfect trip there off the short layoff. He's second with 3/8 to trot. Capricornus now going to get the green light from third for Tetrick. Third shift will tighten in from a fourth in front of Patriarch Hanover. Hobbs swings to the outside sixth in front of TJ's top pick. They trot at the top of the stretch. They're off 3/4, 125 and 3. It's a well-rated Amigo Voldo who's looking to buckle down and put away Capricornus. Third shift angles wide at the outside for Sponstead. Back of the neck. He needs a place to race. He looks to find a seam. Far outside Patriarch Hanover's upset-minded, but they still haven't gotten to Amigo Voldo. He maintains a short lead. Here's back of the neck, though, who's found clearance, and it's back of the neck who moves right through and right past. Back of the neck to win it. From Amigo. Three-year-old pacing fillies on the track. Second division of the American Ideal Bluegrass Series, sponsored by Brittany Stallion Management. Purse of $79,200. There are no changes. It does kick off the ultra low 15% takeout pick for $10,000. The guaranteed pool. What is Big Markle Sparkle? Jim Arledge trains. Brett Miller drives for Lauren Paul Baker. There is number 2. Candy on the beach. Scott Zeron just getting back to the back paddock after that Winter Circle interview. Chris Beaver trains here for the Emerald Highlands Farm. 3, Murga Hanover. Ron Berg trains for Thomas and Scott Dillon. Joe Spronko and Bill Donovan. Matt Kikali. 4 is the undefeated Party Girl Hill. Chris Ryder trains. Dexter Dunn aboard for Tom Hill. 5 is Lions Sentinel. Jim King Jr. trains for 3 Lions Racing. Tim Tetrick. Number 6 is Marlowe Hanover. Nifty Norman trains. Joe Bongiorno drives for Eric and Lisa Cherry's Let It Ride Stables. The 7 is Gay Waterhouse, Tibetico Chechene train, Johnny Jingra wearing the colors of the Lindy Farms of Connecticut. At the gate is Sail By, Tony Gadanya trains, Eddie McCarthy up for the Brittany Farms. That's your field for the 7th race. 3-year-old pacing fillies, $10,000 guaranteed Big Four. Kicks off in the upcoming 7th race. One of 2 Big Fours on the program today. Low tank out just 15%. There are no changes on the balance of your Sunday program. The Big Four is clear, and it kicks off right now.
Race 7 up next, honoring the American Ideal here and sponsored by Brittany Stallion Management. Of course, Art Zubrod and George Siegel. $79,000 on the line coming up, Gabe, and one of our featured star performers and potential Horse of the Year candidates is in here. That's number 4, Party Girl Hill, a daughter of Captain Treacherous out of the Gear to Gear mare Look Cheap, bred and owned by Tom Hill of the United Kingdom. So he is not with us. He was not with us on Jugette Day last Wednesday, but I'm sure he had a wonderful birthday celebration, winning the Jugette on his 73rd.
Don't know of many better ways you could spend a birthday, David. She was just so impressive. I can't decide whether I was more impressed with the first heat or the second heat at the Jugette, because she was vicious in both. She's been just impeccable in her entire career, and I know this is going to come as a shock day, but I'm going to try her up as a slam dunk single here to kick off this Big Four.
Yeah, I did the same, and I'm sure probably about 95% of the bettors out there will. Good Pick 4 after that, though. You might be able to grind out some value in the next 3 legs. Party Girl Hill and then Dan Patch, 2-year-old champion Lion Sentinel, have had quite a war. And this is what we love in harness racing, these kinds of rivalries. It hasn't quite gone Lion Sentinel's way just yet. I think at some point she may be able to pull an upset, and you never know. We certainly have a very fast piece of dirt here today. They're both wonderfully bred daughters of Captain Treacherous here. Lion Sentinel gets the outer post. Party Girl Hill starts from 1 slot inside, but what I've seen from Party Girl Hill, she is so versatile, it might not matter.
It makes no difference whatsoever in my mind as well, Dave. I thought if Lion Sentinel was ever going to beat Party Girl Hill, it could have been that first seat of the Jugette. She took that shot from the inside post, as she should have, and she was well rated there. 56 down to the half. I mean, she did everything she could possibly do. Back half on the clock there, 53 and change. And she still got worn down there in the late stages. So Lion Sentinel, very talented filly, but she's just up against a buzzsaw in this crop with Party Girl Hill.
She is, and let's see what Tim Tetrick has in mind in terms of strategy. You are correct. In that elimination, he couldn't possibly have driven her any better. It looked like she might be able to steal away, and they came up just a little bit short, I guess, but Lion Sentinel fought hard all the way. So the exacta players out there, I know I'm on a 4-5, but you could come up with a couple other possibilities. One filly that really loved it over the Red Mile Strip last season was Marlowe Hanover. She was a winner, may have been a couple of times there. She goes to the gate for Nifty Norman and Eric Cherry's Let It Ride stables. I think she has rounded back into better form. Her start to the sophomore season wasn't as strong.
Yeah, and we miss seeing Eric and Lisa Cherry here in Lexington today. We miss Mitty out there that are watching at home. No better place to watch a race in Eric and Lisa's place there in Boca, and so we wish them the best of luck here with Marlowe Hanover. Just overmatched, as you said, in that Jugette heat, but she's been pretty solid against some of the National Stakes Company all season. As you mentioned, she liked it here at the age of 2. She's got some early speed. She's got an aggressive pilot, Joe Bongiorno, in the bike, so perhaps he tries to come out swinging here and get a nice up-close trip, but I see a lot of early speed in this group. In fact, top to bottom, so it could be quite the chess match here. You know, at the end of the day, Dave, if anyone expects Party Girl Hill to move to the lead, perhaps they're going to want that perfect trip in behind her. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out off the wings.
You and I both gave a little love to one of the homebreds in here. This race is sponsored by Brittany Farms, and George Siegel bred and owns number 8 Sail By for Andy McCarthy and Tony Alagna here. Just looks like she has come into her own since shipping out to Lexington. You tell me how impressive those wins were in the Commonwealth.
Well, I'll give you the good news and the bad news. The bad news, they weren't the deepest of fields. They were short fields. However, the great news, Dave, both of those first legs of the Kentucky Commonwealth, she raced against the track bias. The front end, the track well off on both of those days, and really hardly anyone wanted the lead either of those days. But to Sail By not only won, she did so convincingly. So I had a good notion that she was really ready to get form in a big-time way and ready for a blowout-type mile. And she delivered that Commonwealth final. She finally caught a quick track there. You'll see out of there in 26 and change, quick half, and just dominated there by over a touchdown to win that event. She's a filly that is certainly peaking right now at the right time.
All right, 1-9, no surprise there. Party Girl Hill will try to make it 12 for 12.
And this is your final boarding call for this afternoon's first pick 4. We're already well over the $10,000 mark in climbing as that Dream Foundation starting gate has moved into position. It's post time for the pick 4. Starter call. Three-year-old pacing fillies lined up, second division of the American Ideal, New York's leading pacing stallion. Sponsored by Brittany Stallion Management. Field of 8 to kick off the pick 4. They are on game. And they're off. There goes Marlo Hediver out swinging from the center. Candy on the Beach. Also left alertly towards the inside. Far outside Gay Waterhouse. Looking to mix it up there as they rolled into the opening turn. Marlo Hediver has her sights set on the lead. And she'll grab the track here from Candy on the Beach. Gay Waterhouse still floating wide in the third spot. The big favorite, Party Girl Hill. Away tracking the top trio in the early stages, fourth. Big Markle Sparkle. She's back in fifth in front of Murga ahead of her. Quick quarter here, 26 and 4. Lion Sentinel away seventh, and she's got one beat in the early stages. That is Sail By as the fillies work their way across the backstretch. And it is Marlo ahead of her. Bongiorno now looks to tap on the brakes, and that's going to send the undefeated Party Girl Hill up and on the attack now. So it is Party Girl Hill at 1-9. She works up and around Marlo ahead of her, who will release the favorite to the top. Candy on the Beach. Still tracking in the third spot. Gay Waterhouse is fourth. The half a solid 54 and 4 as Party Girl Hill has worked up and around Marlo ahead of her. Candy on the Beach still right there in front of Gay Waterhouse. McMarkle Sparkle is saving ground. Lion Sentinel working uncovered from a tough spot near the back. Sail By tracks that move up. Past Murga ahead of her as the fillies work around the far turn. It's a Party Girl Hill still the target. Marlo ahead of her in tight pursuit second. Candy on the Beach still third. Gay Waterhouse fourth. 3/4, 122 and 1. Party Girl Hill turns for home with a 2-length lead. Marlo ahead of her is driven out in the second spot. Lion Sentinel still working up into a third past Candy on the Beach, but at mid-stretch, Party Girl Hill. This party is over. She sprinted 5 lengths clear. She's wrapped up. Tack on another for Party Girl Hill. She's 12 for 12. Lion Sentinel up in the second spot. Marlo ahead of her third. Far back to Candy on the Beach fourth. 148 for Party Girl Hill. Judges have posted the 4 Party Girl Hill at officially in the 7th, second at the 5 Lion Sentinel. Third of the 6 Marlo ahead of her, 2 Candy on the Beach, fourth 4, 5, 6, 2 at official in the 7th. Seventh race results are official. Returning track sign for the Diamond Creek Farm. Winner's presentation. This is Party Girl Hill. Wins again. Chris Ryder, the treader. Dexter Dunn at the bank once more. Tom Hill, the owner and breeder of Party Girl Hill, the United Kingdom. Party Girl Hill, 12 for 12 to begin her career. It's a career best clocking today, 148 for the undefeated Party Girl Hill. Party Girl Hill takes the American Ideal Bluegrass Series. Cindy Silverson, our Director of Sponsorships, presenting the trophy here to the Wedding Connections of Party Girl Hill. On behalf of Mr. George Siegel, Art Zubrod, Byron Bell, and all of Team Brittany. Party Girl Hill, impressive once more. Party Girl Hill returns 210, 210, and 210. Second to the 5. Lion Sentinel, 210 and 210. Third to the 6. Marlowe Hanover, 340. The Ice Cold Dave Brower Exacta, $2.40. $1 trifecta, $3.40. We've got your rundown for the 7th race. McMarkle Sparkle 5th. Number 2, Candy on the Beach 4th. 3, Murga Hanover 7th. 4, Party Girl Hill, the race winner. 5, Lion Sentinel 2nd. Number 6, Marlowe Hanover 3rd. 7, Gay Waterhouse 8th. 8, Sailby was 6th. Recheck, it gets 5, 4, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, and 6 on the bottom. Party Girl Hill, she's done it again. 12 for 12. Dave Brower standing by with the winning driver, Dexter Dunn.
Yes, I am Gabe Pruitt, and what a happy winner's circle picture it was. The Diamond Creek Farm winner's circle, and guess what? Party Girl Hill has made it a perfect dozen. We have winning driver Dexter Dunn with us here. Dexter, first I want to congratulate you. Last night we saw Better's Wish bounce back with a real nice performance in the Dayton Pacing Derby. You put a real good trip on him. Is he back to his best self?
He's nearly there, Dave. He was great last night. The trip worked out perfect for him. I think he'll come out of that run and be, a little bit fitter and a lot sharper for next week here. So really
that's
happy
good,
with him,
because we've got plenty of stakes races later on in the racing season for him. Now, Chris Ryder trains him as well. He also trains Party Girl Hill. I'll tell you what, every time I watch you perform behind this horse, she is just the perfect animal. You can do whatever you want with her, right? Yeah,
she's a sweetheart. She's come a long way this season, and she just keeps getting better and better. But she's a real racehorse. You can do what you want with her. You can take her back. You can set her in. You can move her. But her run today was great. Yeah, she felt she was like out of second gear.
In your opinion, has she even peaked yet?
Well, I don't think we've actually got to the bottom of her, to be honest. She's never really been all out at the end of a mile. So, her 2 trips at Delaware and her trip today, she's had the plugs in all 3 times and doing it herself. So, she's exciting. She's, it's a pleasure to sit behind.
Now, Joe Bongiorno got away with a nice slow early pace there with Marlowe Hanover. You were sitting 4th at that point, but you decided enough of this. I don't want to go. I don't want to have to come first over all the way. So you moved her to the front.
Yeah, it seemed like the right time. They went, a little bit early, and then they just sort of started to pack off down the back stretch there. So, she told me it's time to roll. So we moved around there, and she just felt great the whole mile.
You didn't catch much pressure on the final turn. So did you chirp to her turning for home?
I give her a chirp there just when we straightened up, and she did what she's been doing. She dropped her ass and away she went.
She came home in 25 and 4 today for a 148 clocking. Now, my viewpoint, I don't think you were asking for anything late, right?
No, she was doing it very easy. So,
oh man,
let's hope she's keeps staying on the right track.
How happy are you when the entry sheet comes out and you see Party Girl Hill is in to go?
Yeah,
Wherever
it's always exciting. I mean, lucky I'm driving a lot of good horses at the moment, so anytime you're sitting behind them on race day, it's exciting.
All right, another devastating performance by Party Girl Hill. A perfect dozen. She is unbeaten. She captures the American Ideal Bluegrass Series in 148 flat.
Still the target, Marlowe Hanover in tight pursuit second. Candy on the Beach still third. Gay Waterhouse 4th. 3/4, 122 and 1. Party Girl Hill turns for home with the 2-length lead. Marlowe Hanover is driven out in the second spot. Lion Sentinel still working up into a third past Candy on the beach, but at mid-stretch, Party Girl Hill. This party is over. She sprinted 5 lengths clear. She's wrapped up. Tack on another for Party Girl Hill. She's 12 for 12.
Dale Volente Farms, one of North America's premium breeding facilities. Their stallion lineup features Hambletonian champion Trixton, global pacing sensation Lazarus, and 3-time world record holder and Kentucky Futurity champion Six Pack.
In the Kentucky Futurity, he will win it 149-1, a world record for Six Pack.
Dale Volente Farms' outstanding broodmare portfolio includes 2-time pacing filly of the year, Worldly Beauty, multi-millionaire Rocklamation Dam of 2019 Pennsylvania Sire Stakes winner, Rocknificent.
Through, it's Rocklamation getting up. Rocklamation, a hat trick for Gingras.
And Breeders' Crown champion, Brigham Dream Dam of 2019 Swedish Sprint champion, Taekwondo. Dale Volente Farms Premium Breeding Farm and Syndicate Management in Flemington, New Jersey.
Three-year-old Colton Gelding Trotters out on the track for this afternoon's 8th race. It is the third division of the Green Shoe Bluegrass Series. Kicks off at pick 3. No changes. Purse of $70,900. Post parade brought to you by the world champion Always Be Mickey. Multiple stakes winners, part of his first crop, including the undefeated Perfect Sting. Southwind Gendry yesterday, a Bluegrass winner as well. What is Gangster Hanover? Otis Fonstedt, the trader driver, co-owner with the SRF stable, the Brittany Farms. Number 2 is Sermon. Barry Ingblom trains for the Constance Racing Stable. Longbridge trotting. Casper Fogut drives. Number 3 is On Top of the Hill. Ron Burke trains for Elite Trotting. Dexter Dunn. There's the 4 Hollywood Story. Marcus Melander trains. Tim Tetrick drives for Courant Incorporated. The 5 is Chestnut Hill. Nifty Dorman trains for Melvin Hartman, Dave McDuffie, and Jeff Correll's Little ELLC, Dave Miller. Number 6, Coventry Hall. Otis Fonstedt trains. Eddie McCarthy drives for Inga Vigard Alborg Ops. 7, Stonefire US. Dwayne Motter trains and drives for the River Stable, Lars Berg. At the gate is Judah Tricks Treasure. Otis Fonstedt trains for Judah Racing Incorporated with Gotik Gingras. That is your field for the upcoming 8th race. We'll catch up to the 3 on top of the hill. Dexter Dunn back a bit late. There he is out of the back paddock. Field of 8 here, no changes. Kicks off another pick 3 on the card. 8, 9, 10, no changes in the pick 3 sequence or on the balance of the Sunday docket.
One leg down in the guaranteed pick 4 pool, and just about everybody and their brother is alive. Mr. Gabe Pruitt, as Party Girl Hill continues to impress us each and every time that she steps out on the racetrack. You can see it in Dexter Dunn's comments. You can hear Chris Ryder and the confidence, and wow, what a special horse she is.
She is indeed wrapped up there, Dave. 25 and 4 home, just under absolutely no encouragement whatsoever. Who knows if we catch a nice Sunday here next week. 147 flat, the world record there, of course, by She-Be Stingin'. Just a sensational filly. I'm like all of the connections and probably everyone out there listening to us right now. I'm just so excited to see her week in, week out.
Exactly. My most difficult choice was who to talk to, and I opted for Dexter this week since we spoke with Chris at length last week up in Delaware. Hey, before we get to these 8th race trotters here in the Green Shoe division of the Bluegrass Series here, this is the perfect opportunity to give some harness racing birthday shout-outs. Good long list here. Our buddy Les Stark back in New Jersey, Joel Cahan down in Florida, Drivin' Drew Monty up in New York, Karen Evilsizer, Steve Torres, Todd Bealby, and Matt Zwitek. Happy birthday to you folks. We hope you are tuned in and enjoying the broadcast. On to race 8 here. This division worth almost $71,000, sponsored by the Green Shoe Syndicate, Hanover Shoe Farm. The tote board's telling us a real big tale here with the horse that's on the screen right now, and that's number 1, Gangster Hanover.
That is the Gangster, and happy birthday to all of the above you mentioned there, Dave, especially our man Les Stark. I know he's out there watching at Wagerberg. On today's card. And, yeah, the Gangster, I like him, Dave, because he was so good here last year. He's lightly raced, so obviously has, his issues perhaps, or for whatever reason he didn't make it back to the races until late this season as a sophomore. He did break last time at Harris Philly in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes Championship. But this may be a true horse for the course. We remember how good he was here as a freshman. We know this red clay just really elevates a lot of horses when they arrive in town. I thought he looked pretty good scoring down on the track here this afternoon, Dave. 3-5. That does not look very good on the board right now. That's a shockingly low number, but that's not going to hold me. No Gangster Hanover is going to get off at a much better price than that, and I'm just hoping that he is ready to rebound here on his return to Lexington.
Well, he hasn't raced in a while, so we will see what he has under the hood, I guess is the best way to say it. And I've gotten a little conflicting information as to whether or not he will be wearing shoes today, so we'll see, hopefully after the race. We can't go out there and check it out now. We just saw Dexter Dunn in the winner's circle there with Party Girl Hill. He'll hop behind the Ron Burke trainee on top of the hill, a son of Muscle Hill, who cost a cool $250,000. And you tell me about his race in the Kentucky Sire Stakes final. He chased beads, and I mean chased, not catch.
Yes, that's pretty much what it looks like on paper. Barley was pretty much second best throughout that entire series. On top of the hill, did have the perfect trip there in the final. He got away behind Beads, but Beads was just loose in the lead the entire way. Short field, just 5. You see just about what you get on paper there. It was maybe an improved effort from on top of the hill. He hadn't been great as a sophomore, and that was a decent effort, but I think it's just a much deeper group overall today. I will say we've seen most of the Burke starters race extremely well, even the ones that are not winning. Dave have raced very well at big prices. You remember Patriarch Hanover a couple of races back in another division of the Green Shoe was third, I believe, at 30-1. So we've seen many from the barn fire with their best shot, but I just think on top of the hill is in pretty deep water here this afternoon.
The effort put forth by number 5 Chestnut Hill in the Canadian Trotting Classic was nothing short of miraculous. The drive by Andy McCarthy as he somehow fought his way through traffic, checking. And then when he got through, he burst by for a 60-1 upset. Was that a fluke?
No, I don't think it was at all. I was a big fan of Chestnut Hill at the age of 2. He's always been a colt that has had a ton of ability. Great call from our man Ken Middleton on the mic there, that Canadian Trotting Classic. Dave, he was pretty shocked. How did Chestnut Hill do it? I was thinking the exact same there because, as you said, he just had to check and still somehow managed to slip through there at a boxcar number 60-1. I think he's versatile. His racing style, I think, is better suited for the bigger track. Chestnut Hill, I'd like him to be right there today. But unfortunately, Dave, if you're like you and I, if you missed the party, it's 60-1. Back at a much, much shorter price here today, 2-1 on the board on Chestnut Hill.
That's one of my favorite lines. Now, Team Svanstead has not 1, not 2, but 3 entrants in this division. They also have the 8 Jewel Tricks Treasure, who has quietly raced okay. Did have that one nice win with the steamroll move in the Simcoe, and then he raced well again in the Canadian Trotting Classic, considering he started from the second tier.
Really never got a chance to race there in that last race either. He really came from an almost impossible spot, with the breaker ready for Buddy and all that traffic issue there in that last race. So, I watched the replay back on him a couple of times, Dave, and it was just a very hard effort to gauge. But the bottom line is he made up a ton of ground. I don't really think Chris Christoforou was able to ever really give him his head there late. So I think maybe a bit more impressive on paper than it even looks there when you got a chance to roll it back. So it is post time here for the 8th race. 7th race. How about the Captain Treacherous fillies there in race 7? 1, 2, 3, Dave Brower. Starter call. Three-year-old Colton Gelding trotters lined up. Third division of the Green Shoe Bluegrass Series kicks off. Another pick 3. Field of 8. They are on gate. And they're off. Hollywood Story goes sprinting out early. Down at the inside, Gangster. Hanover making his presence felt in the early stages. 4 outside, Jula Tricks Treasure also came out swinging as they rolled into that opening turn. Hollywood Story up to grab the track early. Jula Tricks Treasure continues to work up at the outside. Gangster Hanover came away trying again third. Serbit is next in fourth. Chestnut Hills out following in fifth on front of On Top of the Hill. Coventry Hall is seventh, and at the back, Stonefire US. The quarter was 27 into 4, and it is Jula Tricks Treasure, who is now taking over the top from Hollywood Story. Gangster Hanover, he is anxious there in that third spot. Svanstead still patient at this point, as Sermon follows in fourth. The pace slows up the backstretch. Chestnut Hill is fifth in front of On Top of the Hill. Stonefire US underway from the back past Coventry Hall. And they're all still content to track Jula Tricks Treasure as they trot past the half in 56-1, 28-2 in the second quarter. Hollywood Story enjoying the perfect trip off the pacemaker second. Now Gangster Hanover gets his cue to the outside for Svanstead. Stonefire US will track that move up at the outside with 3/8 to trot. Servant is pinned down at the fifth spot with Coventry Hall up third over in the flow. Suddenly just 5 lengths off the lead. They're double tiered around the far turn. They trot at the top of the stretch. Gangster Hanover is up to confront his stablemate Jula Tricks Treasure, and they trot off 3/4, 125-1, and Gangster Hanover is throttled 3 lengths clear. Jula Tricks Treasure could not stay with him in second. Stonefire US driven out in between horses. 4 outside, Coventry Hall moves up On Top of the Hill, way out wide, but it's Gangster Hanover still 3 lengths clear. Jula Tricks Treasure's inching in second. Coventry Hall's up at the outside. Serbit a deep stretch. Gangster Hanover's close to home. Gangster Hanover wins it. Time for the place. Jula Tricks Treasure or Serbit. Coventry Hall is fourth, 152-3. Judges have boasted Gangster Hanover unofficially first. Second, the 8 Jula Tricks Treasure. The Svanstead Tradies finish 1-2-4 here with the 8th race. His number 2 Sermon was third. 6 Coventry Hall fourth. 1-8-2-6 unofficially the 8th. Turning trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. This is Gangster Hanover. Returns here to Lexington in a fine fashion. Otis Vonstedt, the trailer driver, and the co-owner of Wrightstown, New Jersey. Along with the SRF stable, Lighthouse Point, Florida, the Brittany Farms. For sales, Gangster Hanover, a 3-year-old bay colt. He's by Father Patrick. From the Yankee Glide Mare, Global Desire, bred by the Brittany Farms. Gangster Hanover wins for the second time this season. 5th win in 11 career starts. He equals his career best this afternoon, 152-3. Greeting the Wedding Connections trackside to make the trophy presentation. Our good friend John Federa presents the trophy to the Wedding Connections of Gangster Hanover. Prices up for the 8th race. Gangster Hanover worth $740, $460, and $220. Second of the 8, Judah Tricks Treasure, $360, $280. Third of the 2, Serban, $10.20. Exact at $35.20. The $1 trifecta, $78.30. 20-cent superfecta, $237.82. Official run-ins for the 8th race. Gangster Hanover the winner. Serban 3rd. 3 on Top of the Hill 5th. 4 Hollywood Story 8th. 5 Chestnut Hill finished 6th, disqualified and placed 7th. Number 6 Coventry Hall 4th. 7 Stonefire US finished 7th, placed 6th. 8 Judah Tricks Treasure 2nd. Rechecking time down with the placings. It's 135.874. 6 and 2 on the bottom. Gangster Hanover 152-3. The 9th race up next. It is the 3rd division of the American Ideal for the 3-year-old Pacing filly, sponsored by Brittany Stallion Management. No changes. Field of 8. Post time for the upcoming 9th race is in 7 minutes. Off another pick 3. Field of 8. They are on game. And they're off. Hollywood Story goes sprinting out early. Down at the inside, Gangster Hanover making his presence felt in the early stages. 4 outside, Judah Tricks Treasure also came out swinging as they rolled into that opening turn. Hollywood Story up to a grab the track early. Judah Tricks Treasure continues to work up on the outside. Gangster Hanover came away trying again 3rd. Serban is next in 4th. Chestnut Hills out following in 5th on front of On Top of the Hill. Coventry Hall is 7th, and at the back, Stonefire US. The quarter was 27-4, and it is Judah Tricks Treasure, who is now taking over the top from Hollywood Story. Gangster Hanover, he is anxious there in that 3rd spot. Vonstedt still patient at this point, as Serban follows in 4th. The pace slows up the backstretch. Chestnut Hill is 5th in front of On Top of the Hill. Stonefire US underway from the back past Coventry Hall. And they're all still content to track Judah Tricks Treasure as they trot past the half in 56-1, 28-2 in the second quarter. Hollywood Story enjoying the perfect trip off the pacemaker second. Now Gangster Hanover gets his cue to the outside for Vonstedt. Stonefire US will track that move up at the outside with 3/8 to trot. Serban is pinned down in the 5th spot with Coventry Hall up 3rd over in the flow. Suddenly just 5 lengths off the lead. They're double tiered around the far turn. They trot at the top of the stretch. Gangster Hanover is up to confront his stablemate Judah Tricks Treasure, and they trot off 3/4, 125-1, and Gangster Hanover is throttled 3 lengths clear. Judah Tricks Treasure could not stay with him in 2nd. Stonefire US driven out in between horses. 4 outside, Coventry Hall moves up on top of the hill, way out wide, but it's Gangster Hanover still 3 lengths clear. Judah Tricks Treasure's inching in 2nd. Coventry Hall's up at the outside. Serban a deep stretch. Gangster Hanover's close to home. Gangster Hanover wins it.
The wait is over. The betting lines have made their much-anticipated racing debut, and the early results are phenomenal. As of July 15th, Betting Line has had an amazing 78 starters from 119 foals, including Dean B. Hanover.
A half a length of the stretch, the best. Dean B. Hanover.
A Buck a Bet Hanover, Folsom, and Letter Buck. Bettor's Delight's clear successor, Betting Line, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Harness racing comes alive at the Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame in Goshen, New York. Visit our world-class museum and see the local local connections to Messenger and Hambletonian. Come see our newest exhibit, the Greyhound Gallery. Stroll through our beautiful facility and ride our 3D simulator. Hold your next event or party in Houghton Hall, a popular horse-oriented destination. Check out Harness Racing's Hall of Fame, less than a 1-hour drive from Yonkers or the Meadowlands in Goshen, New York. The Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame.
Lindwood Farm, a premier standard-bred breeding and stallion facility located in scenic western Pennsylvania, just a short drive from the Meadows Racetrack. Established in 1970 by Ann and Logan Dickerson, our facility offers stallion, mare, and foaling services, along with the occasional turnout and rehabilitation. If you're looking to participate in the Pennsylvania Breeders Program, contact us today. Lindwood Farm, setting the standard.
Three-year-old pacing fillies on the track, third division of the American Ideal, sponsored by Brittany Stallion Management. Purse of $79,200. What Alexis's Beach. Brett Pelling trains. Tim Dietrich drives for Melvin Siegel. Number 2 is J.K. First Lady. Nancy Tactor trains. Yannick Gingras on board for the Three Brothers Stables. 3 Sweet Filly. Chris Beaver trains. Matt Kickley drives for the Emerald Islands Farm. 4 Annabelle Hanover. Jeff Culliver trains. He co-owns with Tom Pollock's Pollock Racing LLC. Andy McCarthy. 5 is Lady Lou. Tony Galania trains for Brad Grant and Steve Heimbecker. Brian Sears. Number 6, New Year. Chris Ryder trains. Dexter Duda for Eric and Lisa Cherry's Leaded Ride Stables and Bottom Line Racing. 7, Rocknificent. Linda Toscato trains. Scott Zier onto the bike for the Enviro Stables, South Mountain Stables, and Jeff Gorell's Little E LLC. At the gate is Blazing Grace. Brian Brown trains. Dave Miller drives for the Country Club Acres, Joe Spronko, Rich Lombardo Racing, and LH Management Services. There's your field for the 9th race. There are no changes. They will go to the post in a few minutes for the 9th.
Hey, Gabe Pruitt, before we get to the pacing fillies here of the sophomore variety in this division of the Bluegrass Series, the American Ideal, tell us a little bit more about that function you and I are going to on Tuesday night out at Fasig-Tipton. It's for a great cause, breedings for a cause.
Yes, it's the charity auction for those stallion rights breedings to some of the sport's premier stallions. In fact, Dave, you've got an ad in your program. It's Tuesday, October the 6th. So that's this Tuesday, 6:45 out at the Fasig-Tipton Sales Pavilion. You've got so many of the superstars of the sport. Some of the top stallions. In fact, Father Patrick. How about Tall Dark Stranger? His first season there, standing in 2021. That'll be offered. Walner, Green Shoe, J.K. Indivadera, Swan for All. You've got 6 major stallions. It's the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. Big thank you to Marvin Katz and everyone involved for putting that together. The signature sponsor of this year's Breeders' Crown, the Linfield Cats Breeding Partnership. And again, that stallion auction, some of the top stallions in the sport, that is Tuesday evening at the Fasig-Tipton Sales Pavilion at 6 to 6:45, or 6:45 rather, it gets underway. You can be there early, of course. Cocktail hour, as Maura reminded us the other day, Dave. I know you and I could stick around for a cocktail hour. That starts at 5:30.
Yes, it does. I'm glad you said that. I was about to. You stole my thunder, but that's okay. You kept on a good roll there. Look forward to that event. The weather should be beautiful for lots of horse watching and bidding at the Fasig-Tipton grounds, the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. Rolling on to race 9 here as we continue to plow through the pick 4 sequence. I thought this was one of the more difficult races to handicap throughout the day because you've got several really good fillies who have constantly stepped up and beat each other over the course of the season. Let's start with Nancy Tactor here, the first foal of the Horse of the Year, JK She's a Lady. It's JK First Lady, and, you know, she's had another productive season. Only 8 starts up to this point. She's missed the board only once, so I think she's in razor-sharp form.
Yeah, she beat older mares in that last start at the Meadowlands, so that is not easy at times. I know she was 10 cents on the dollar, but when you're taking on older, we know it's just not the same as racing against your own age there, so I thought that was impressive, maybe even more impressive than it looks on paper. There was a pretty easy win, much easier than it looks on paper for JK First Lady. Really, at the time she's dodged Party Girl Hill, she's been pretty much perfect. So I think JK First Lady's got a major chance here. I pressed her in this pick 4 sequence, Dave. I got lucky to press Gangster ahead of her last race. I'm hoping JK First Lady can get it done even as a short price. I wouldn't expect much more than that. She is indeed the one to beat, probably somewhere around the 4 to 5 or even money range.
Yeah, Nancy told us that she needed a race for this filly, so she was willing to put her in that spot, and she responded with flying colors. Number 5 is Lady Lou here for the Alanya Armada here. You know, she drew post 8 in that final of the Jug after racing well, you know, in the elimination. She's been well-traveled this season, and I think she will very much appreciate being back on the big track.
I agree. That's the only other filly that I did use in this spot to some degree, Dave. Lady Lou, I'm just going to disregard the Jug headlines there. As you said, she was okay at the first heat, post 8. That's impossible. We all know that, the final heat. So I'm going to disregard that, and I think it's key, as you said, stretching back out of the big track. Now, the concern here, she's not a huge winner, just 2 for 24, but this is a great crop of 3-year-old basing fillies, one of the best we've seen in quite some time for my money, Dave. When you have the likes of Reflect With Me, some of the other fillies we've already seen today in stakes victories, Party Girl Hill, of course. So Lady Lou, again, the resume a little light up top, just a 1 for 11 this year, 2 for 24 overall. But how many times has she been knocking on the door and behind some very good winners? In fact, she's been very close to Party Girl Hill several times.
Number 6 is New Year. She's looking to get a little revenge on JK First Lady after that second-place finish back on August 20th in a division of the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes here. She has since been vicious for the knockout team of Dexter Dunn and Chris Ryder.
She has been, and that was such a great job by Dexter in the bike first heat of the Jugette. He made sure Peaky Sneaky was never going to see the light of day there in that pocket spot behind him. I thought that was a heads-up drive. Of course, Dexter moved over to Party Girl Hill for the final. Joe Bongiorno did a magnificent job at the bike there as well. Got all he could get there with New Year. Good filly. And take a look, Dave. She won here last year as a 2-year-old. She likes this track as well.
Also looking for a little revenge on JK First Lady is number 7, Rocknificent here for Hall of Fame trainer Linda Toscano. They hooked up in that Pennsylvania All-Stars event on August 29th at Pocono, and Rocknificent was the big favorite that day, but she just couldn't get by.
She couldn't. Rocknificent took the perfect trip, could not get past JK First Lady, but she's got that nice tactical speed. You know, she's going to be likely going to leave out here, get some position, and she's one of the logical contenders here, right now the second choice.
Well, you're right on the money with the odds on JK First Lady. Odds on at 3 to 5. We will see if she delivers with that inside post position edge.
That Dream Foundation starting gate has moved into position. It's post time for the 9th race. Starter called. Third division of the American Ideal. Of course, American Ideal world champion here in Lexington 15 years ago, 147-4. Now New York's #1 pacing sire. Many years in a row, he stands at the Blue Chip Farms of New York. Three-year-old pacing fillies lined up for this afternoon's 9th race. Field of 8 on gain. And they're off. A nice start with a host of early speedsters. Center of the track, Lady Lou left the gate quickly. Annabelle Hanover to her inside. New Year just over outside as they sprint into that opening turn. Lady Lou and Sears sweep up and past Annabelle Hanover. New Year continues to press on there, as does Rocknificent. She's taking the worst of it right now. She's 3 wide and still blitzing up at the outside for Zeron in an early battle with New Year. So Lady Lou's back to a third. They sprint through an opening quarter and 26-2. Annabelle Hanover's back to fourth. In front of a JK First Lady. The favorite follows in a fifth. Alexis's Beach next in sixth in front of Sweet Philly. And out the back, that is Blaze and Grace as they work their way across the backstretch. Straight alignment in pursuit of the second choice, Rocknificent. She's uncontested on the point. Do your tracks tightly. Second for Dunn. It's a length and a half further back to the inside, Lady Lou. She is a bit anxious there for Sears in front of Annabelle Hanover. They race past the half here in a solid 54-3. Now the favorite, JK First Lady, is advancing up on the outside for Jingra. She'll move up uncovered there with 3/8 to pace. Alexis's Beach going to track that live cover as they move midway around the far turn. Rocknificent up top. New Year's up and out of the pocket there. So an aggressive drive here from Dutta. New Year. She's up to engage Rocknificent. That briefly forced JK First Lady 3 wide. She continues to advance up as the path is 3/4, 122-4. Rocknificent clings to a short lead. New Year takes her shot. She battles on in between fillies. Now the favorite, JK First Lady, begins to kick into gear on the far outside. Alexis's Beach is in the fourth. It's JK First Lady and Jingra who vault off cover. JK First Lady up to win it. New Year a solid second. Rocknificent third. Tight for fourth. Looked like Blaze and Grace slipped through. 149-2. Two, 6, 7, 8 unofficial in the ninth race. Turning track side for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. This is JK First Lady. The favorite here in the third division of the American Ideal, Nancy Tactor. Another stakes victory as part of the Grand Circuit season. Yadik Jingra aboard for the victory once more. JK First Lady, owned by the Three Brothers Stables, New York, New York. Owners and breeders of JK First Lady. Of course, a 3-year-old filly by Western Ideal from the Great Art Major Bear, JK, She's a Lady. It's her fourth of the season, the 9th overall. JK First Lady, 149-2, just 1/5 off her career best. Cindy Silverson, our director of sponsorships here at the Red Mob, present the trophy to the Wedding Connections. On behalf of the American Ideal and Brittany Stallion Management. Of course, American Ideal stands at the Blue Chip Farms of New York. It is the favorite, JK First Lady, in the 9th. She returns at $3, $240, $210. Second of these 6, New Year, $460, $280. Third of the 7, Rocknificent, $220. The exact of $13.20. $1 trifecta, $11.80. At the 20-cent superfecta, $22.32. Official rundowns in for the 9th race. Alexis is Beach 5th. Number 2, JK First Lady the winner. 3, Sweet Philly 8th. 4, Annabelle Hanover 6th. 5, Lady Lou is 7th. Number 6, New Year's 2nd. The 7, Rocknificent 3rd. 8, Blazing Grace was 4th. Rechecking 518, 672. 3 and 4 on the bottom. JK First Lady 149 and 2. Dave Brower standing by with some of the winning connections here of a very talented filly, JK First Lady.
We are in the Diamond Creek Farm Winter Circle, and we are here with Tom Grossman, the master of Blue Chip Farms and Bloodstock in Wallkill, New York, where they are bred in New York to take on the world. Tom, welcome to the Winter Circle. I know you've been a busy guy getting ready for the Lexington Selected sale coming up starting tomorrow night. But let me ask you this. What do you expect from this year's sale?
Mixed signals, but I'm getting increasingly optimistic. I think traffic has been very good. The buzz is good. The people are good. The previous sales have been good. Stock market's hanging in there. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
So over the last 2 mornings, then, you've had a lot of people come by to look at your horses.
We have. And you know, we shopped around the other consignments as well. There was a good buzz everywhere.
Now, how has COVID affected you and your business? I mean, when did you finally know that we were going to have a sale and people were going to be able to get there? How did you prepare your horses once you got the go-ahead?
Well, we did a few things for the employees first and foremost to make sure they were safe and got them telemedicine policies, etc. And I'm proud to say that we have 15 or 16 employee houses at the farm, so we're pretty much a closed system, and everyone stayed healthy. I'm very sure the horses knew nothing about COVID. Nothing changed for them. And, you know, one of my mantras with our guys is you can only worry about what you can control. So we kept preparing and preparing for the worst and hoping for the best, and I think it's come out more like the latter.
Now, we've been very lucky to allow fans and owners into the grandstand here for the Grand Circuit meet as well. A big part of your summer is Saratoga, and you had to be extremely disappointed that you couldn't walk over to the track.
Yeah, I went up a few days and tried to
sneak in.
I had one running, but just try to get the vibe of that town, which everyone loves. Very similar, really, feel to Lexington. They're the two most similar I could think of, but it never got there. It never got over the hump, and I feel like this town for this week is doing a much better job at it.
Let's talk a little bit more about Blue Chip Farms, the leading commercial breeder in all of North America.
I think that's right.
Okay. Let's talk New York Sire Stakes then, because everybody wants to know about the future. They issued a statement yesterday kind of giving everybody a little bit more confidence. Give us your take on that.
Yeah, I'm in my other business, I was taught by a Chinese guy that the characters for crisis and opportunity are the same in China, and we've really used it as a rallying cry to really re-engage with the local politicians. You know, we were involved from when VLTs got passed, you know, in the early 2000s, and took it as an opportunity to really re-educate the powers that be in the state and feel very comfortable that we brought them up several pegs to where they understand how important it is for employment and the environment in New York, and have gotten some really good support there. And I think out of this, we're going to get some changes in the Sire Stakes program and some other bigger topics like ship seamen, et cetera, that I think we're going to turn it in to make the Sire Stakes even better. I really do.
You stand 9 stallions. We call them the Blue Chip 9, but you've shuffled the deck a little bit, but your top guy is always Bettor's Delight.
Yeah, he's the mailman. He just delivers every day, every week, every year.
Now, where can we find you at the sales grounds now? Which barn are you in?
I think we're barn 13 up in the top there. I could be wrong, but
we'll find
in
it.
the
Don't
top,
worry.
and I will personally be there for sure.
And how many do we have to sell, particularly here in Lexington?
We have 15 to go here in Lexington.
You'll have a bunch at Harrisburg. How many sales do you participate in over the course of this season?
We participate in Goshen here and in Harrisburg, Timonium, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit rough to get around town and get reservations. What's your favorite Lexington tradition?
I'm a creature of habit, so I've tried the Tony's route, but I always find myself back at Malone's.
All right. Always a standby. I was there last night. Tom Grossman, ladies and gentlemen, master of the Blue Chip Farms. We always love to see his smiling face. Go on out and visit those horses tomorrow morning. Check them out before they start the sale tomorrow night at 7.
Linwood Farm, a premier standard-bred breeding and stallion facility located in scenic western Pennsylvania, just a short drive from the Meadows Racetrack. Established in 1970 by Ann and Logan Dickerson, our facility offers stallion, mare, and foaling services, along with the occasional turnout and rehabilitation. If you're looking to participate in the Pennsylvania Breeders Program, contact us today. Lindwood Farm, setting the standard.
In a field lies hope, anticipation. From the biggest races to the brightest stages, taking you on the wildest ride.
Forbidden Trade with a gigantic upset. Best in show.
For the glory, the pride, the payoff. Enter the field, the Ontario Sire Stakes program, from Ontario farms to the world stage.
Three-year-old trotting fillies on the track. It is the second division of the Bar Hopping Bluegrass Series. Purse of $70,200, no changes. Sponsored by the Bar Hopping Syndicate and Hanover Shoe Farm. What is a perfect crystal? Ron Burke trains for Elite Trotting. Dave Miller. Number 2, the Hambletonian Oaks champion, Sorella. Nancy Tactor trains out of Jingra on the Bank for Elmer Fadden. Crawford Farms Racing and Brent Fadden. 3 is Kiki Mora. Chris Beaver trains, and he co-owns with Sandra Burdett, Scott Zeron. 4 is Tricky's Sister. Andrew Harris trains for Bob Key, Todd McCarthy. 5, the New York Sire Stakes champion, Kentucky Sire Stakes champion, Hypnotic AM. Marcus Melander trains, Brian Sears drives for Courant Incorporated. Number 6 is Spoiled Princess. Nancy Tactor trains for Christina Tactor, the Black Horse Racing, Dexter Dudup. 7 is Sister Sledge. Ron Burke trains the Burke Racing Stable. Jason Modillo, Jerry Teresa Silva, Perdell Libby, Weaver Bruce Shebby, Tim Tiedrick. At the gate is Sherry Lynn's Lady. Jim Campbell trains for the Coyote Wind Farms. Matt Kikali is at the controls. That's your field for the 10th race. No changes here as we get set to close out the Big 4 at race 10.
Back to the trotting fillies here in this 10th race division, the Bar Hopping, the Bluegrass Series for the sophomore trotting fillies. And we've got some good ones in here, Gabe. We've got this year's Hambletonian Oaks winner, Sorella, in post 2. We've got the only $1 million earner in here in post 5. That's Hypnotic AM for Brian Sears and Marcus Melander. And then we've got Sister Sledge, a 13-time winner who always gives her all. Which one of those 3 do you prefer?
Well, I think it's a jump ball between those 3. Personally, Dave, I thought the 2 Sorella would end up as a second choice in this spot, so I did go there. I was just so impressed with her all season long, in fact. But, of course, we all remember the great today in the Hambletonian Oaks that she had. She has gone north of the border of late. Used a bit hard, got caught up there with her last time, but no shame in finishing as second behind the pair she was defeated by. Prior to that, she beat some nice older rivals. I really like that start there north of the border. So I think Sorella bounces back here. It's been a good day already for trainer Nancy Tactor. We just saw her pick up another win there in the 9th race. She teams up with the Jingra once more, so I gave the edge to Sorella from, she has the post edge here over her main rivals as well.
And she is also versatile. She's a homebred for Elmer Fannin. He co-owns along with the Crawford Farms and his son Brent. They're both out of Delaware. They've had a wonderful season watching race races from Sorella. Now, Hypnotic AM, you could maybe make a little bit of a case that she's a horse for the course as well on the big track. Those last couple of wins, dominating fashion at Yonkers in the New York Sire Stakes final. She was 1-9 there, and then she transferred that form here with the Brush and Crush.
She's been so good all season long. I think on every size track, Dave, she did manage to make that New York Sire Stakes final with just limited action there. So off the end of the final there and just crushed that group. Tons of best. Pretty much similar story here in Lexington in the Kentucky Sire Stakes action as well. She came up just short to Tuscany in her opening start here in Lexington, but that did do enough to put her into the final. She went off odds on there and just won convincingly. It was even easier than it looks on paper. And you're seeing a mini show right back up here at 7-5. Right now, the current favorite, Hypnotic AM.
There's a look at Sister Sledge on your screen, and that is always the sign of a happy horse, those ears going back and forth. How about that price, though, Gabe? She's up there at 6-1 right now, and she enters off 2 tremendous tries.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shocking big price, but the most shocking price on the board is not the 7. It's the one of Perfect Crystal. Someone has dumped some win money there out of Perfect Crystal, 30-1 on the morning line. She's at there at 5-2. I don't think that will hold. I think somewhere there was a mistake
somebody bet the wrong race. That's what usually happens in these situations.
I've done that before. So
I have too. I've bet the wrong track, the wrong race, and you know how that always works out.
And many times the wrong horse, even when it is my true opinion. But anyway, Sister Sledge, runner-up last time there at Hoosier Park, Dave. She had every opportunity to go by her stable made Crucial. That was quite the stretch slugfest. She actually went off as the favorite, took the perfect trip there. Get a good start. She's just been very consistent all season long, just like the other two we've just discussed. Sister Sledge goes for the Burke Brigade. And again, you just can't discount her. So consistent. But if you're looking at up and down that board right now, Dave, there's no question in my mind, likely yours as well, the value most certainly lies with Sister Sledge if you could capture 6-1 mutual.
You could. We have a big potential barn change bonanza in here. Just a moment ago, we saw number 6, Spoiled Princess, and Dexter Dunn with the outrider. But off that convincing win, her second in a row in the Buckhead up at Delaware, she was sold. I believe by her breeders, Bob McNerney and Hauser Brothers Racing, now owned by Christina Tactor and Barry Guariglia's Black Horse Racing. I think I remember the story. I think she was bought on OnGate.com. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But, hey, listen, anytime we get first-time Nancy Tactor with a horse that's won 2 in a row, you better pay attention.
Yeah, I thought she was a bit of a wild card here. I mean, you just go over her line. She's been maybe just a notch below the very top stakes fillies this season, but it's such a tough crop, a deep crop as well. But in good form here off back-to-back wins. As you said, that was a nice, easy score over the track there at Delaware. Prior to that, picked up an overnight win. So we'll see. I'm like you. Anytime a horse debuts for that outfit, you have to take a second look.
All right, Gate moving into position here. The bar hopping for the sophomore trotting fillies is up. This purse a little over $70,000.
Post time for this afternoon's 10th race. Again, the bar hopping. Bar hopping, that's out of Muscle Hill, stands at the head of Shoe Farms of Pennsylvania. You'll see a second crop sailed this week in Lexington. Also at the Timonium yearling sale first week of November. He's off to a great start with this first crop, just 61 foals. Part of that first crop, multiple stakes winners, Arnold and Dickey. One of the standouts in that crop, Pub Crawl, was a bluegrass winner in Grand Circuit Stakes action here on a Friday afternoon. So bar hopping, limited first crop, multiple stakes winners. Second crop available right now. He stands at the Hanover Shoe Farms of Pennsylvania. Starter calls. Three-year-old trotting fillies lined up for this afternoon's 10th race. It closes out the early pick 4, a field of 8. They are on gain. And they are off. Hypnotic AM goes sprinting out from the center. Sister Sledge also out quickly with Sorella on the moves. The favorites hauled out together with the Perfect Crystal maintaining her position down at the inside. They rolled it at the opening turn. Hypnotic AM sprints past Sorella. Sister Sledge will dive in third as a Perfect Crystal. is out giving Jason behind the 3 favorites of 4th. Spoiled Princess on debut for the new connection. She is 5th in front of Kiki Mora. It's a break of 2 lengths to Tricky Sister. At the back, that's Sherry Lynn's Lady. The quarter was 27-3. They straight away on the backstretch. Even Buddy, Hypnotic AM, the favorite on top. Sorella enjoying the nice trip 2nd. Sister Sledge still tracking the 2 favorites 3rd in front of a Perfect Crystal. Nothing yet from Spoiled Princess. She's still content to track in 5th. And Sorella's up and out of the pocket here. So Jingra up to a takeover control here from Hypnotic AM. It's Sorella, the Hamiltonian Oaks champion, who assumes command past the half in 55-4. Hypnotic AM did release. She's now back to a 2nd as Sister Sledge still looks over 3rd. Perfect Crystal saving ground at the 4th spot. Spoiled Princess comes underway to the outside 5th. Kiki Mora opted to sit in from 6th as Tricky Sister is underway 7th. Sherry Lynn's Ladies at the back. They trot midway around the far turn. Sorella on the point. Hypnotic AM continues to track tightly in 2nd. Sister Sledge inching it up on the outside 3rd. Spoiled Princess suddenly just 3 lengths off the lead 4th. The past 3/4 in 124-4. That is Sorella, who turns 4 home with the lead. Hypnotic AM up and out of the pocket. Spoiled Princess still saving ground at the inside 3rd. Sister Sledge is 4th. Deep stretch now. Sorella maintains a short lead. Hypnotic AM's up at the outside. Spoiled Princess up the inside late. 3 across the track. That's Sorella or Spoiled Princess with Hypnotic AM. 3-way finish there. Photo 151-1. Tight photo for win here in the 10th race between the 5 Hypnotic AM, 6 Spoiled Princess, and Sorella was there in between fillies as well. Hold all tickets tight. 3-way photo for win. Photo sign remains up in the 10th race. You get it as a tight 3-way photo for win. Between the 5 Hypnotic AM, the 6 Spoiled Princess, and the 2 Sorella. As the rain showers have arrived here in Lexington, we await the results of the photo. In the photograph number 2, Sorella. That's it. Again, it was the 2 Sorella. In between horses as they hit the line, 3 across there. Second to the 6, Spoiled Princess, who was all the way at the inside. The 5, Hypnotic AM. On the 4 outside, just short there at a tight 3-way photo, 2-6-5-7. Returning track side. All the way back to the paddock, but now she's back here. It is Sorella, who survives a 2-pronged attack to take the Bar Hopping Bluegrass Series 3rd Division. Sorella trained by Nancy Tactor, her 3rd stakes winner of the afternoon. Yadik Jingra, the bike once more. Back-to-back wins here on the card for the pair of Nancy Tactor and Yadik Jingra. Sorella owned by Elmer Fadden and Brent Fadden, both of Delaware. Crawford Farms Racing of New York. Sorella, 3-year-old bay fillied by Muscle Hill from the Cadabra Bear Cadillia. Bred by Elmer Fadden of Delaware. She's now 7 of 10 of the season, 9 of 19 overall. Sorella, 151-1 in the 10th. Steve Head trackside. Greet the Wedding Connections. Present the trophy to the Connections of Sorella. Steve, one of the new owners brought into the sport by our main man, Myron Bell, part of many partnerships there along with Myron and Stephanie. So we welcome Steve and we thank him for his trophy presentation. Once more here to the Connections of Sorella, who survives there. The 3-way photo. Prices up, results official. Sorella 540, 320, and 210. Second of the 6, Spoiled Princess, 680, 320. Third of the 5, Hypnotic AM, 210. Your exacta was $40.80. The $1 trifecta worth $58.30. The $1 pick 4, that was at $35 even. 20-cent superfecta was $20.80. And the pick 3, covering races 8, 9, 10, a $2 pick 3 was $35.60. Official rundowns for the 10th race. A Perfect Crystal, 8th. Number 2, Sorella the winner. 3, Kiki Mora, 5th. 4, Tricky Sister, 6th. 5, Hypnotic AM, 3rd. Number 6, Spoiled Princess, 2nd. 7, Sister Sledge, 4th. 8, Cherry Lynn's Lady, 7th. Rechecking top down, it's 815, 632, 4 and 7 on the bottom. Sorella 151-1. 11th race up next. It is the final division of the Captain Treacherous Bluegrass Series for the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers. There are no changes in the upcoming 11th race. They will go to the post in just 7 minutes for race 11. It closes out the early pick 4, a field of 8. They are on gain. And they are off. Hypnotic AM goes sprinting out from the center. Sister Sledge also out quickly with Sorella on the moves. The favorites hauled out together with the Perfect Crystal maintaining her position down at the inside. They rolled it at the opening turn. Hypnotic AM sprints past Sorella. Sister Sledge will dive in third as a Perfect Crystal is out giving chasing behind the 3 favorites of 4th. Spoiled Princess on debut for the new connection. She is 5th in front of Kiki Mora. It's a break of 2 lengths to Tricky Sister. And at the back, that's Sherry Lynn's Lady. The quarter was 27-3. They straight away on the backstretch. Even Buddy, Hypnotic AM, the favorite on top. Sorella enjoying the nice trip 2nd. Sister Sledge still tracking the 2 favorites 3rd in front of a Perfect Crystal. Nothing yet from Spoiled Princess. She's still content to track in 5th. And Sorella's up and out of the pocket here. So Jingra up to take over control here from Hypnotic AM. It's Sorella, the Hamiltonian Oaks champion, who assumes command past the half in 55-4. Hypnotic AM did release. She's now back to a second as Sister Sledge still looks over third. Perfect Crystal saving ground at the 4th spot. Spoiled Princess comes underway to the outside 5th. Kiki Moore opted to sit in from 6th as Tricky Sister is underway 7th. Sherry Lynn's ladies at the back. They trot midway around the far turn. Sorella on the point. Hypnotic AM continues to track tightly in 2nd. Sister Sledge inching it up on the outside 3rd. Spoiled Princess suddenly just 3 lengths off the lead 4th. The past 3/4 in 1:24-4. That is Sorella, who turns 4 home with the lead. Hypnotic AM up and out of the pocket. Spoiled Princess still saving ground at the inside 3rd. Sister Sledge is 4th. Deep stretch now. Sorella maintains a short lead. Hypnotic AM's up at the outside. Spoiled Princess up the inside late. 3 across the track. That's Sorella or Spoiled Princess with Hypnotic AM. 3-way.
The Breeders' Crown, presented by the Liebfeld Cats Breeding Partnership, is harness racing's richest and most prestigious championship event, with $6 million in purses over 2 nights. Tune in on October 30th and 31st to watch and wager on the 37th edition of the Breeders' Crown. Live from Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino. First post is 6 p.m. Eastern Time, both nights. Visit harrahshoosierpark.com for a live stream, a complimentary race program, and more information on ticket availability. The 2020 Breeders' Crown will be a ticketed-only event held in a reduced capacity format. Visit harrahshoosierpark.com for more info.